5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Burgum, for being with us today. In the past, you've spoke about the essential role that hunting advocates like the National Wild Turkey Federation and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and Delta Waterfowl and others play in preserving the outdoors. Can you tell us more about the work that the Department of Interior is doing to partner with these groups to further hunting and conservation efforts?
Well, a great example was last night. I had an opportunity to meet with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Foundation, NIFWF, if it's known, one of the most successful organizations in the country in terms of raising private sector dollar, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And of course, at their event last night, all of the groups that you described were in attendance, plus many more. Including Everglades, all of these great groups from around the country, and with those groups, one of the things again, what goes back to permitting, if we have a project that needs to get done, and if it's going to take goes through the federal process and it's going to take 3 to 4 years at double the cost, where these folks can raise private dollars, put them out to one of these organizations, they can do a conservation project often at half the time and half the price. And so again, that's super efficient use. And if there's ways, again, where we can do private-public partnerships to support that activity, it's a win-win. It's a win for the taxpayers, it's a win for wildlife, it's a win for conservation.
How important are license revenues that are generated by Sportsmen to conservation and habitat restoration efforts nationwide?
It's essential, and I would tell you that as former governor, at both the federal and the state level, whether it's a federal duck stamp or whether it's state licenses or permits that are put out there, that's a key part of that foundation for conservation projects.
So on permitting, what impact do prolonged permitting timelines have on energy prices and domestic manufacturing competitiveness?
And they raise the price of everything and often accomplish nothing.
So can you explain why permitting reform is especially important for critical mineral projects that are tied to defense, semiconductors, and advanced manufacturing?
Well, it's absolutely essential for that, and I think some people get confused. Critical minerals, rare earth minerals. You just have to think about it as, do you own a cell phone? Do you drive a car? Do you look at a flat screen at any point in time during the day? Any of these things that we just take for granted, including your refrigerator and your microwave, will include components that would fit under the 60 identified critical minerals that the USGS puts out as the critical minerals list. And the fact that we don't control them, it is a national security risk, but it also raises the cost, the price of everything, which is why we've just got to get back in our country and to stop demonizing things that we can do well here, cleanly, safely, smartly, and protect the environment, like mining, like forestry, like grazing, like oil and gas production. We can do all of those things without and do it better for the global environment than if we outsourced it to another country. And when we do that, we're going to improve national security and we're going to lower prices. So if you want to champion affordability, then you should be championing permitting reform.
A lot of my colleagues have done something I've found to be interesting. They've chosen to ask you questions and then not given you the opportunity to respond to them. So I'd like to give you the remainder of my time to address any of those questions that you've not been able to answer.
Okay, well, I appreciate. Thank you for doing that. There was a discussion earlier regarding the merger of BOEM and Bessie, or I should say the unification of those two agencies to get more people actually doing the work, which the Congresswoman and I would agree on. We want more inspectors. We want increased safety. We want to do that. The assumption that somehow that this is was going to defer all that. It's true. There was in the early report 15 years ago that said there was an issue with the revenue generating component being tied with the regulation. That revenue generation component work is done by a group called honor with no H, the Office of Natural Resource Revenue. That group, honor, is still separate. So any potential conflicts of interest between who's collecting royalties, which she mentioned in one of the submitted articles, is not this combination of the people that are actually doing the safety and inspection work. Because again, if we're going to issue a permit to someone, guess what? We need the safety and inspection people out there for exactly the reasons that she described. And those folks work hand in hand today, and we can create additional efficiencies. We can get, our estimate is we can have more inspection and more inspectors with more frequent visitors in off-sort locations if we unify than if we don't. So I think we might all agree on the objective that it's safety, and the pejorative, how should I say, assumption or assertion that somehow that the oil and gas industry on or offshore doesn't care or doesn't want the environment. The number one contributor to coastal restoration in America is the Gulf of America energy producers by a long shot, because those are the communities that all their employees live in. They live there. Of course they want clean water. They want wildlife. They all hunt. And so this idea that there's some faceless group of people that don't care about the environment, it's just a false. It's an insult to every American who works in the industry. Those are the patriots that are keeping the lights on for everybody here who drove a car to get to work today.
Thank you. Yield back.
Gentleman's time.